I am going to tell a story of a girl that is completely fictional and has no connection to real life. In a quiet suburban neighborhood in Seattle, Washington, a young girl named Emily Carter, 22 years old, lives with her parents David Carter and Laura Carter, and her older brother Jason Carter, 27, who is treated like the shining star of the family. Jason works at a major tech company in Silicon Valley and is constantly praised for his intelligence, achievements, and promotions, while Emily, despite being far more talented and deeply passionate about computer science, is mostly overlooked and considered just a student who studies too much. From childhood, Emily had always been different. While other kids played outside, she spent hours learning programming, building small software systems, and experimenting with artificial intelligence models, eventually growing into someone capable of creating advanced algorithms that even graduate-level researchers admired, but in her own home, her achievements were never truly acknowledged. Jason, on the other hand, had the charm, confidence, and social presence that made people instantly believe in him, and over time he started to depend more on Emily's intelligence, first asking her to explain basic coding concepts, then requesting help with assignments, then slowly taking her actual project structures and ideas and using them in his professional work as if they were his own creations, while their parents remained unaware of the depth of what was happening because they trusted Jason completely and believed Emily was simply helping her brother succeed. Emily initially never questioned it because she believed in family loyalty, but as time passed, she realized that her work was not just being used, it was being fully taken and presented under Jason's name in a major corporate environment where he was receiving promotions, recognition awards, and financial bonuses based on systems she had designed in her university lab late at night while surviving on minimal sleep and maximum effort. The most important project she ever built was an adaptive AI optimization system capable of improving predictive analytics in real time, something she had spent nearly 2 years refining through countless versions, debugging sessions, research papers, and sleepless nights in the university lab at the University of Washington, where her professor Dr. Helen Morgan was the only person who truly recognized her brilliance and kept encouraging her to apply for higher research opportunities in Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, Jason was preparing for a major presentation at Meridian Technologies, where he was set to present a revolutionary AI system that would potentially make him a senior executive, but the truth was that every single line of code, every architecture decision, and every optimization layer in that system had originally been created by Emily and stored in a shared family cloud account that Jason had access to, which he repeatedly opened during late nights while Emily assumed it was only for backup purposes. Over the years, Jason's career kept rising rapidly. He bought a new house, started planning his engagement with a woman named Brooke Williams, and became the golden son of the family, while Emily continued living quietly, focusing on research, unaware that her identity as a creator was slowly being erased in front of her own eyes. One day, everything started to change when a data architect named Marcus Reed, working independently from Meridian Technologies, came across Jason's published technical documentation and noticed something strange. The core architecture of Jason's system closely matched a research model that had been circulating in academic circles under Emily's name in a draft paper submitted at her university, and this similarity raised serious questions that could not be ignored. Marcus reached out with an email asking about collaboration, and that single message became the first crack in the carefully built illusion Jason had maintained for years, because Emily, upon reading the email, immediately realized that someone outside her family had finally connected the dots between her academic work and Jason's corporate success. At first, she felt a mix of shock, disbelief, and emotional exhaustion because she had tolerated this situation for years, hoping that recognition would somehow come naturally, but instead she saw that her silence had allowed someone else to build a life on her identity. After a long conversation with her professor Dr. Helen Morgan, who had always believed in her and advised her to protect her intellectual property, Emily finally decided that she could no longer remain silent and that she needed to secure her future before taking any action, so she applied for and secured a full scholarship at a prestigious research university in Washington, D.C., ensuring that she would not be financially dependent on her family when the truth came out. During this time, she carefully collected every piece of evidence she had ever created: original source code files with timestamps going back years, version histories showing her development process, cloud access logs proving Jason's repeated unauthorized use of her files, academic papers, and documented research notes, all organized into a professional legal-style report that clearly demonstrated authorship and intellectual ownership. Meanwhile, Jason remained. Apologized for being distant and unsupportive of her brother, accusing her of jealousy and attitude problems, and in that moment Emily realized that the entire family had already chosen their narrative without knowing the truth. Instead of reacting emotionally, Emily calmly stood up and said that she had already submitted all evidence of intellectual property theft to Meridian Technologies and the Academic Integrity Board, and that everything Jason had achieved was built on her work, and at that moment the entire room froze in silence. Jason tried to deny it, claiming collaboration, but when asked to explain the technical architecture of the system, he failed completely, exposing the truth in front of everyone, while the evidence presented made it impossible to defend his claims any longer. The aftermath was devastating. Jason was suspended from his company, his academic credentials were investigated and eventually revoked, financial and legal consequences followed, and the image of the perfect son completely collapsed in front of the family, while Emily's work was officially recognized and validated by both academic and corporate institutions. In the emotional aftermath, their parents were forced to confront years of ignorance and favoritism, realizing too late that they had dismissed their daughter's brilliance, while Jason faced the consequences of relying on stolen success instead of genuine ability. Emily, however, did not stay to watch everything fall apart. Instead, she left for Washington, D.C. on a full scholarship to begin a new chapter of her life at a top research university where her talent was finally respected, her name was associated with her own work, and her identity as a creator was fully restored. The story teaches that stolen success may shine for a while but it can never survive the light of truth, that patience and silence should never be mistaken for weakness, and that real talent always finds its rightful place no matter how long it is ignored. This is a completely fictional story created for storytelling purposes only and has no connection to any real person or event, and the moral lesson is that self-respect, truth, and patience ultimately lead to freedom and justice, and the question left for the listener is, if you were in Emily's place, would you stay silent or finally stand up for your truth?